Hello there, welcome to Saberjug Gaming, where we always take the high ground, and on no day is that little intro more fitting. It is May the 4th. It is officially kind of still Star Wars Day, and I am going to be doing part one of a little two-part stream. We're going to be playing a little bit of Star Wars Battlefront 2 whilst talking about the history of Star Wars. We're going to be thinking about the games, we're going to be thinking about films, comics, a little bit about everything. We're not going to be talking about the actual stories, just so much generally what's out there. But I am in no way going to try and tackle this on my own. I don't have the mental capacity for such a solo challenge. Haha, solo. And also, it's just more fun having someone to bounce off. So, who else could I possibly bring in for this other than it's the Gaming Lord 04. Here he is.
General Kenobi.
There was a bit of a gap between the hello there and the General Kenobi. But yes, hello Gaming Lord 04. How are you doing?
I'm doing alright, mate. How are you doing?
I am very good. Have you watched any Star Wars today?
I watched Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, very good. I was just watching.
Hold on. I mean, Mando season 2.5.
Yeah, the Book of Mando.
I explained to my mum because I was watching it with her. I had to explain to her why everybody hates that Mando was in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And not just 1.
And I was watching Andor and then Tales of the Jedi. So yeah. Good. So, so I thought on this one we're going to do a bit about the history of Star Wars, and then if I'm right after that, you're going to do a sort of a partner stream to this, where we play the game, continue playing the game, but we're going to think a little bit about what the future of Star Wars might hold. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
And what I wanted to hold, but I'm obviously not going to be heard by Disney.
Okay, we've got Jose in the chat. Hello, Jose. Weird how I'm not a huge.
I did actually pronounce it right.
Yeah, okay. Jose. Yes. Weird how I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I've seen their merchandise at Target as a teen. Star Wars merchandise is everywhere, mate. So that is not surprising at all.
I'd be very worried, like where you live, just like where are you living that you haven't seen any Star Wars merch.
Yeah, Star Wars merch is everywhere. Let's be honest. So we're gonna be playing Galactic Assault, but we will be chatting. So in this one, we were going to talk all about the history of Star Wars. So, Gaming Lord, first thing I want to ask you, what was, as far as you can remember, what was your introduction to Star Wars? Like, what film or cartoon or game was your introduction to Star Wars?
Well, my first introduction to Star Wars would have been through you. So
yes, I knew that bit.
Seeing as you are very specific on how you watch the trilogy being in release order, Episode 4?
Episode 4, so A New Hope. So, and in fairness, that would have been my sort of introduction to it as well.
Yeah.
Jose has just said there, my favourite Star Wars character is Yoda. That is always a good starting point. Wow, the sound effects are very loud here.
I have no sound. I can hear it through your mic.
Yeah, it's so loud.
You can hear me through your mic. What the hell?
Let's see if I can turn it down. Yeah, I can.
This looks really weird. I'm playing as a First Order Stormtrooper. Yeah, I've got Count Dooku here, Boba Fett, Bosk. So, this. Are we breaking the time barrier? The world between worlds?
Oh dear.
Star Wars references.
So, yeah. I like the diversity, says Jose. There is always a lot of diversity in Star Wars, in the different types of characters, the different...
From the Empire, they're all white.
Yeah. Well, no, you got Darth Vader isn't. Well, he kind of is. Depends on what you mean.
We're all about the armor.
Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, that's... you sort of mentioned before about the order of things. Yeah, so the first three had the Star Wars films, and it's so weird now because when I was born, when I was well, not even when I was born, when I was younger,
Yeah.
Star Wars was basically a trilogy of films. That's it.
Yeah.
Like there was some games, there was some books, and there was a few sort of straight to TV movies and cartoons, but you could never see them. The only Star Wars was episodes 4, 5, and 6. That was it. So you won't ever remember that as a thing, will you?
No.
So, because I know then I was a kid was when episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out. So they were all already out when as far as you know, wouldn't they? They were all there.
Yeah, they're
So
already out.
So you'll know Star
I think
Wars as like a.
Episode 1 and 2 are out, and then episode 3 came out in 2005. So
Okay.
a year after I was born.
Okay. So bizarre to think. Oh man, I haven't got any cards on any of these. Jeez. Yeah, it's just really bizarre to think. So then, what the hell was that? And at that point, all the games and the books, they were canon. That was the expanded universe.
Disney came along.
And then Disney came along.
I mean, and then Disney came along with such joy and happiness in my voice.
Thank you very much, our Lord and Saviour, Walt Disney. Yeah.
Sketchy stuff going on and stuff with certain
Not at
flags.
all. Not at all. We love you, Disney. Thank you for being Disney.
Mickey Mouse, what in the dickens is going on over here?
And so they brought it. So Disney bought out Star Wars, and suddenly it was a matter of we're going to make 3 more films. We're going to make spin-off films. We're going to give you your own series. And I suppose then a question for you: do you think Star Wars? I don't mean obviously there's more stuff, but if you mix what's good and what's bad, do you think Star Wars is better or worse or the same for Disney buying them?
In some parts, I'd say it's the same. With The Mandalorian, I'd say, especially the first 2 seasons, it was better than what it was with everything else combined. But yeah.
If you had the option of making Star Wars just what it was before Disney, or keeping, and you have to lose everything that Disney made, or you have to keep everything that Disney made, which way round would you do? So if you lost the sequels, you lose Mandalorian, you lose the 7th season of Clone Wars, you lose Tales of the Jedi, all of it.
It's not worth losing the sequels to lose all of them.
That's fair, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's a matter of how much good did they do.
In my opinion, the only bad things that Disney have released are the sequel trilogy, because they've just not held up to the rest of the... What the hell?
Hello, Ingo, by the way. How you doing? We are talking Star Wars, so feel free to throw any thoughts about any of the Star Wars stuff you want to. I mean, I suppose one of the things I have to talk about with regards to Star Wars history, because of what this channel is Star Wars gaming and the history of Star Wars gaming. What is the first Star Wars game you can remember playing properly?
Lego Skywalker, the complete saga.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That was they were good.
That's the first. I've never seen this cutscene before. What? Oh, it's because we're playing Galactic Assault. That's why. I've never seen the Star Killer base shooting.
Yeah, I'll take it back to the other one instead.
Yeah.
Hello, Muller. Happy May the 4th.
What was I saying?
So you were saying about the first Star Wars game you played was the Lego Complete Saga?
Lego Complete Saga, and it was the first 3 films, and then the sequel trilogy. I mean, the prequel trilogy. So I remember playing that, and my goal was, once I unlocked Darth Maul, because at the time I was a massive Darth Maul fan. Now, if you ask me who my favorite character was, it'd be like Darth Nihilus, Darth Revan, Boba Fett. But still Darth Maul, obviously, because I do love Darth Maul. He was the first villain I ever met and stuff.
Yeah, Darth Maul is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm trying to think what the first one I can remember. I mean, I loved, and we've got Ingo says, yeah, that's Lego Saga. Lego Star Wars, I think, is the best series, the best overall Lego games they've ever made. But yeah, I think, for me, the earliest one I can remember playing, I'm trying to think if I can remember playing a Star Wars game on the SNES at the time.
The really old arcade ones.
No, well, probably, to be fair. I probably would have played those. I don't remember this cutscene either.
There's Galactic Assault, ain't it?
I've just gone back to Supremacy now, though. Oh, I thought I did. Anyway, maybe I haven't. Yeah, I suppose the first one I remember playing properly would be Rogue Squadron on the SNES, which was basically flying X-Wings, Y-Wings.
Right, okay.
That was really quite cool because it took place after Return of the Jedi, but there was like special levels and bits where you could.
What's this ball thing?
What the what?
Do you see this?
What the hell's that?
What is this?
Is this because we're playing it on the PS5? Is there something different on this?
Well, how would I be seeing it?
Because you're in my game. I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of as different. What the hell is that?
No, EA gave up on this game ages ago. They wouldn't be.
But then where's that come from?
I have no clue.
Okay, for anyone watching, by the way, guys, that floating white snowball thing with a gun on it that was just moving around there, I have never seen that thing before in my life.
It's completely new to us.
And we've played this game a lot. Like, a lot.
On our channels, we've played it a lot. I think it's mainly because we mainly play co-op and Hero of Your Villains. We haven't really streamed Galactic Assault on First Order, so...
Every time I go to pick one of the ships, some other douchebag comes along and picks them up. That's annoying.
I don't know. I wanna play some of the chips.
Yeah.
So Rogue Squadron was
it was probably the first one I played on a home console. There used to be in the arcades like ones there's one based after each of the films. So A New Hope one was basically the trench run. The Empire Strikes Back was the Hoth thing. And Return of the Jedi, the arcade game, was it was actually the speeder bike.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah.
So you were basically chasing and being chased by, and you actually sat on a bike and you leant left and right to turn it and stuff, which was quite cool.
Last guy wanted the douchebags who stole one of the planes. They're not even planes. Sorry.
Damn you. Okay, I didn't know there was like. This is so weird.
This reminds me of a game like War Thunder. You can play as like tanks and planes and infantry at the bottom.
This is all so strange.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna crash into you.
I'm currently out and I've just died.
Okay, tell me when you're spawning.
Okay, I spawned in.
I don't even know where you are.
I'm currently shooting the TIE fighters that...
I'm assuming you saw me crash.
Basically, the things that you should be killing, I'm after instead.
Oh, I see you. I see you.
Hey! Hang on. Are you in an X-Wing?
Yes.
I was going to say, because as you were doing that, someone was flying down towards me in a TIE fighter, so I was thinking you were suddenly on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
You were the chosen one, Gaming Lord. I loved you.
So yeah, and I think it's fair to say, I mean, I sort of said this in the video thing I posted today, but Star Wars games have been is a mixed bag fair, do you think?
Yes.
Because for every I don't know why they seem to struggle to make Star Wars games so much, but for every Star Wars game that's really good, there's another one. Yeah. Well, do you remember when Squadrons was first, the trailer for it, and me and you spoke about how awesome it looked? Like we were going on, and then we both played it and were like, this is the pits. This is the actual pits.
Oh,
it's awful.
Oh, it's an A-wing.
I'm an A-wing. Nearly crashed. But because there was one thing I was thinking of, because obviously I know you have a particular fondness of a few characters from the Knights of the Old Republic games, don't you? Yes. And so I know Nihilus is one.
Having never played them.
And that's where I was going. So you've never actually played those games?
No, but it's like I remember you showed me a book.
Yeah.
Like, well, this was like years ago, and I was
I've still got it. It's like a Star Wars book that talks about the Knights of the Old Republic games, because it's more about the actual Old Republic PC games.
Yeah.
But it has got characters like Nihilus, Revan, Bastila Shan, all those from the Knights of the Old Republic games. But there was actually, I suppose, one of recent history, one of the biggest failings in Star Wars games was there was talk of a Knights of the Old Republic remake, and it completely just fell off the radar.
Yeah.
And that's a shame, because I know me and you have had a little bit of banter about the Resident Evil remakes and how whether they need to be remade or not. But I think it's very fair to say that the Knights of the Old Republic games, I mean, when they were released on the original Xbox, they were a port of a PC game that was out earlier. So they've been out for a long time, and I think they would be easily worthy and due a remake.
Yeah, definitely, because I still want to play them, but I don't have anything to play them on.
Yeah, I think
so
the only thing I can think of is they're on the Switch. I think they're on the Switch, and that's it.
I need to get a Switch.
There is actually an incredible sort of package of games you can get for the Switch, which has Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, Star Wars Pod Racer, or Racer I think it's just called. It's got Jedi Academy, it's got another Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight, it's got Republic Commandos, it's got loads of Star Wars games in. And if you can get that on the PS4 at any point, I mean, that would be epic for you.
Have a pack of some of the old games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just see. Ingo said, I feel like the last 3 films sort of destroyed the movies. The only films in the Star Wars saga should be the first 6. I don't mind the series, but the only films should be 1 to 6. So I'm gonna let you give your opinions on that first Game and Lords, and then I will jump in with mine. So go on, you give your opinion on, because I kind of think you agree to it, but
to be fair, there was a time where I agreed, but as I've started more accepting the fate that they're not going to get retconned like we thought they were. I remember saying to you at some point in one of the Bad Batch and Mandalorian talks, we were actually thinking, I think I said to you just like, if Bad Batch and Mando do what the Clone Wars did for the prequel trilogy, then I'm completely fine with the sequels happening. So I am holding off completely agreeing with that until seeing if they do save them. If it doesn't, then I am in agreement with that statement.
That's fair. I mean, right, I will say, do not get me wrong, I do not think the sequel films did a good job. Let me just get that out very clear.
No,
right.
they absolutely suck.
Yeah. But I don't think they're bad films individually. I think the problem is, as a trilogy of films, they just don't work. They keep contradicting each other.
As well.
Right, where are you? Because I keep seeing new things. Is that you there?
Yes.
Yes, I've never seen that thing before. This is really weird. Because there's quite a few things I've seen that seem different.
When we first started streaming, and I constantly kept going on and like, monkeys, go monkey.
Oh jeez, yes.
Got the mouse droid like a trap.
Stupid mouse. Yeah, I would say they're not good films, but I think the bigger problem is that they just didn't work as a trilogy.
Yeah.
I don't think they did a very good job of writing the characters. I think the characters of Rey, Finn, and Poe should have been fantastic. The actors themselves are all really good. Let's just get that out there. The actor who, Kylo Ren, Adam Driver is an absolute... He's an absolute man, right?
The part of Reed Richards.
Stay right there.
Yeah.
Check the override.
But I also think Adam Driver would be quite good as the new Snape.
Yes, people have been saying that, and as soon as I first heard it, I'm just saying, it's like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah, let's make that a thing. So they're all good, but they just didn't give them, like, for example, I think we'd spoken about before how good the interaction between Finn and Poe is.
Oh, yeah.
Those two, when they're on screen together, that sort of bromance between them is awesome. And the interactions with Rey and Luke, Rey and Han, Rey and Leia, Rey and Chewbacca. Rey actually fits in with the original characters better than anyone. Like, it just so well. And yet, what do they keep doing? That is one of the... Because that's the Han Solo from the game.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot the campaign existed.
Yeah, Ingo says, I wouldn't mind just a Luke series instead of a whole trilogy. Yeah, I think one of the bigger problems with the trilogy was that it undid so much of what Luke did. Like, the whole thing sort of gave the arc of where Luke ended up, and then the sequel trilogy just basically went, let's assume he messed up, tried to kill his nephew, and then went to live on a small planet on his own where he could milk a sea cow. That's the plan we all had in mind for the Jedi Master. That's where we wanted his arc to go. And it was because they wanted to focus on the new characters, but you're absolutely right, mate. People wanted to see where Luke went. It should have been led by Mark Hamill as Luke, with the new characters being the sort of more peripheral ones, the ones on the outside that slowly come into it. And I would even have it that maybe Luke, was a Jedi Master. He did succeed. Maybe at the end of the second in that trilogy films, he gets killed. Or he sacrifices himself, and then Rey and whoever else has to step up and try and do their best to replace him, as opposed to they're already there, just better than him. It just didn't make sense. But it's a very Disney thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
Attention troops. The rebel databanks on Yavin 4 contain
So it's Empire now.
Apparently so. I haven't got a clue. The game is telling me what to do these days, so...
Okay, this is new as well. What the hell's this moose thing?
What? What the hell's that?
It's a hippo moose! It's a hippo moose!
It's a zebra hippo moose. Oh my god, it's Zeus. These things never existed in the game, did they?
There's two of them! There's two Zeuses!
They are impervious to weaponry.
Hold on. I want to stand on it. I want to ride it. Apparently.
I'm gonna try it.
Yes.
I can! I got on it!
Yeah, you get on it, but then when it walks. ATST.
Get back here, Zeus!
Oh my god, there's 4 of them.
Jeez, this is so bizarre. I don't know why, but this game is just completely different all of a sudden, even though they've never done an update on the thing.
Yeah, secretly just like, yeah, we did have made a 4th update.
Yeah, just on the sly, sort of sneaking it in. I would actually... Do you know what I would like to see? I would like to see... I mean, we'll maybe talk about this on your one maybe a bit more. But, you know, you mentioned, Ingo there mentioned about a Luke. I would love to see Luke having an animated series in the style of the Clone Wars. And Mark Hamill voicing him. Because that would be really cool.
And then have Mark Hamill voice the villain.
Oh, yeah.
Joker style.
Yeah. Oh!
The Joker just walks in, just like, hold on a second.
Do you know what they could have him do? There's a character in the comics, in the original expanded universe, called Luke.
Called what?
Luke. Basically, Luke, spelt with 2 U's. Luke. And he's basically like an evil clone of Luke Skywalker.
Right.
So that you can imagine Mark Hamill voicing a messed up, psychotic version of Luke Skywalker. He would voice the hell out of that.
You say Mark Hamill and psychotic voice, my head instantly goes to Joker.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
So if all I hear is the Joker, I'm going to be there just like, where's Batsy?
Batsy?
Oh, did you hear that Mark Hamill might not return to voicing the Joker because Kevin Conroy...
Yeah, he said he wouldn't do it without him.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but makes sense. They were iconic together.
Every time he's the Joker, he's Batman.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Star Wars. Yeah.
Back to the day of what it is.
May the 4th.
May the 4th. Are these guns new as well? Hold on. Horror things.
There's definitely new stuff here. I'm not being funny, there just is. This is weird. I do wonder whether this is because the PS5 version of the game. But I didn't think I downloaded the PS5 game. I thought I downloaded the PS4 version
it's just
anyway.
The PS4 game, yeah.
So why is it different?
And plus, I would only be seeing the PS4 game. Even if you are hosting the game, I'd still be seeing the PS4 game.
Yeah, you should be.
Why is there a clone trooper on a bark? Not even a bark, it's something walker. Hold on. Give me a couple seconds, I will spawn in as an ATST and run like hell. Never mind. Never mind, the Emperor got taken, so I'm going to stick with the ATST plan.
Stop shooting me.
I'm not shooting you.
Not you. My own sort of little pod thing I put up.
Oh. Hey, bud.
Oh no. Oh, stop talking in cockroach.
No, not the click, not the click!
Clicky, clicky.
All I'm doing is...
Oh, someone took Count Dooku just when I was about to be him. Oh, Kylo, I'll have Kylo. Yes!
I can't remember if we've talked about this or not, but the grenades that the Death Troopers have are called oppression grenades. Are we going to talk about that?
Oppression grenades.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cancel culture might get to us if we do so.
Yeah, I can just imagine that. So, actually, I find the Empire offensive. You know.
Cancel Star Wars, oppression grenades.
I know I'm an Ewok, but I identify as a Wookiee. So,
I identify as a Wookiee testicle. What?
Wookiee testicle? Really?
Think about it. Ewoks are pretty much.
They do. They basically. If you had do you reckon if 7 Ewoks combined Power Ranger style, they would make a Wookiee? That's
combine the style. Ewoks combined to form Devastator. don't dare insult Power Rangers in my presence.
Ray, I know her.
Just when I was on the other hand, we don't insult either because I love that as well.
Oh, I saw her quite. I actually saved quite a good video. I'll have to send to you at some point.
Yeah.
Which it was a Power Ranger reference. It is funny. It does take the mick out of it a little bit, but not in a bad way. It is quite funny. Whoa, whoa, Obi-Wan! Ah, he's got the high ground.
Oh, I'm out. See you.
Yeah. Game over, man. Game over.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm heading back to the ships. See you later. Bye.
Oh dear
On second
me.
thought, is you and McGregor going straight towards it.
Ah, damn you.
We've got a grip on the control center.
Stop with the clicking. That's not what I'm doing.
You
Doing
started
Death
it.
Trooper sounds. Doing Death Trooper sounds.
Yeah, yeah.
All points secure.
So, here's another question for you,
They'll
right?
retreat toward the
Because I know you
Okay, so
recently,
let's
you recently cosplayed as Darth Nihilus, right?
It's built to withstand
What is the first Star Wars character you ever dressed up as? I don't mean like got a proper cosplay, but the first character you ever dressed up as. And why was it Princess Leia?
No. 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 It was a World Book Day at school.
Yeah.
And I dressed up as Darth Maul.
That's
I actually
cool.
think I borrowed one of your jackets because at this time I was nowhere near the same size as you, so that was like a Sith robe on me.
Yeah, can imagine.
I had my mom do my face paint, and I just made a piece of paper that goes around my head and just like sellotaped like little yellow parts onto the horns.
When I was a student, we were going to like a fancy dress party. So I was probably about 21, 22, and I was going to a fancy dress party, and I went, okay, well, me and my mate Tim and a couple of others all went to get fancy dress costumes to rent them at the same time, and I got a fancy dress costume of Yoda.
Get me the West.
So I had the Yoda helmet, like the Yoda hat, like mask, big latex mask on, and just this long robe. Yeah, so I was this really tall, skinny, lanky Yoda. Ridiculous I looked. It was, and I had the green lightsaber. That was probably the only thing about it that was accurate. I then did later on, when I was doing a dragon boat race, and I dressed up as Anakin Skywalker. And I had the longer hair and everything. So that one was far more accurate.
You with longer hair. Oh god.
Yeah.
It's a phase I wish not to see. I wish to unsee.
Oh, that's not. I had proper long hair at one point, like full ponytail, mate.
I remember you telling me about your emo phase.
Oh, there was no emo phase. There's a goth phase.
I like how you just... Nope. It's
It's not an emo. It's like you. It's like Saber was an emo. Liar.
Droid.
What?
There's a gun droid on the inside.
I swear this is so bizarre. Because a lot of this is different.
The enemy has a gong droid. We're outnumbered, guys. We're outnumbered. We're outpowered. Screwed.
If their gonk droid takes the high ground.
Oh, wait. We're screwed already, mate. They already have a gong droid. That gong droid even looks at us funny with that.
Inside the command center. Transmitting data.
Fear the gong droid. You reckon if they were to make Battlefront 3, instead of Ewok, can't they do gong droid hunt?
I mean, they could have one where you are each given a character at random of different levels. So when you enter, you don't know what your character's going to be, and there's like it goes from
Different
like
levels of
Jedi Knight through to Bounty Hunter through to just a clone trooper, all the way down to the lowest is a gonk droid with a blaster, and that's It can go pew
Dude,
pew.
that's the top level. I don't know what you're on about. That's the best one there.
At the briefing room. Starting download.
Force? Nope, not got any of that. I am a simple gong droid with a blaster. Fear me. Yeah, gong droid with a lightsaber. Oh god, I'm giving myself nightmares.
Ingo says you guys should become game developers. Dude, that is high. That is a high compliment. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
That's a very nice compliment. I mean, I think most people that play games, and I'm sure you would be exactly the same, dude, are very good at being able to pick out how they wish a game could be done differently, or what could
And then
be.
when they go to do it, they're just like, we can't do this.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't know how to. I do tend to joke about this, but I would say I'm an ideas person. I am an ideas person. So, people.
I can very much create the character models and stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that. Other than
the
that,
ideas of the story, the things like that, but I couldn't actually make the game. What about you, Ingo? What if you were going to make something in Star Wars? What would you? Give me more, give me more. I'll have more. Someone else picked. This is like playing a whack-a-mole, trying to pick a hero character.
Awesome.
You prick.
I'm not even spawned into my character. I'm not even more.
Oh, okay.
It's like, ooh, let me troll it.
Every time I go to, if you can watch on the screen, every time I go to pick someone else picks them first.
Who are you trying to pick? Just
Anyone, just any of the hero characters.
Just so I know what would annoy you the most.
Oh, in that case, what would annoy me most is if you were Palpatine.
Oh, God damn it. Wait, did I get it? Oh, no, I didn't.
I clicked on more, but it still went to someone else first.
Oh my god, 3 of them win. God damn it. This is seriously like a game of my fucking.
Yes, did I get it?
Screw it,
No,
I'll
I
take
still didn't get
BB-90.
Dooku. Oh,
I got
sod this.
BB-90!
Oh, I'm just gonna go back to being a heavy trooper.
I'm the polling pole.
Yeah, congratulations. You're a metallic testicle.
At least I'm a hero. Well, villain.
Yeah, you're a heroic testicle.
I'm a heroic metallic testicle, thank you very much. I still can't believe they added these guys to the game.
It's the most pointless
So many Star
hero
Wars
character.
characters.
I mean,
So many
I
Star
still
Wars
stand by.
characters.
You could have just taken BB-8 and evil BB-8 out. I'm not even going to give him a name. And you could have just replaced them with Azaz Ventress and Ahsoka.
Operation complete.
It's
We have the
right there.
and the rebel
It's
base
just
destroyed.
right
Victory
there.
today.
Ingo says, what's your favorite Star Wars product you own? Oh, that's a very good question.
Are they
Gaming
counting
Lords?
autographs?
I suppose it's a Star Wars
I
product.
can give an answer for yes and no.
I'll tell you what, let's spice it up a little bit. Pick 5. What are you if you can keep only 5 Star Wars things that you own, what would they be? So that sort of
Ewan
answers
McGregor's
Ingo's question, but it spices it out a little bit.
So, Ewan McGregor signature,
Yeah.
my Sam Witwer signature,
Yep.
my Darth Revan lightsaber, Battlefront 2,
That's a good one.
counting down,
Yeah, go on.
and my holograms.
Ah, cool. Okay. I am going to go with my my Darth Maul lightsaber. My original copy of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic from the Xbox. Also my Sam Witwer autograph.
That's so charitable. Bestowed to you as a Christmas present.
Yeah, it was very good. It was very good. I would then say my Millennium Falcon, Lego Millennium Falcon. I mean, I've got quite a lot of Lego Star Wars that I want to keep, but I think that one's probably one of the ones that would it just has a little bit of a special place.
I'm going to change one of my answers for the Lego Death Star.
And my Lego Darth Revan minifigure.
That's like worth how much now?
It's a limited edition, wasn't it? It was on the May the 4th, and it was the only one. Like, they never re-released it.
We got, yeah.
And certainly one. I actually quite liked last year's where it was the Aunt Beru in the kitchen. I actually thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
But
that was actually alright.
yeah. What the hell's this thing?
What's what thing?
This blue.
Monkey! Monkey!
The hell? They never looked like this before.
The monkey.
They weren't this
always
colour.
look like this.
Were
Yeah,
they?
what? Yeah, they always this colour. I would know. I'm the one who chased after. Wait, what are you shooting?
The monkey.
The monkey's right here in front of me.
But it was right here in front of me as well.
It's right here in front of me.
There's nothing in front of you, dude.
Oh my god, are we seeing different monkeys?
Yeah. The monkey's here where I'm shooting.
My monkey's doing the roly-poly every time I shoot.
Yeah, same. Mine's... why are we shooting monkeys? Pay attention, dude. What about you, Ingo? Do you own any Star Wars? What's this thing?
These are turret things I was saying about.
I've never seen this thing before.
Anyway, back to Ingo.
Yeah. Yeah. What's if you got any particular Star Wars merchandise that you value? Okay. Here's one for you, right? If you count the trilogies as a series, right? And each series sort of has its own thing, right? Like Clone Wars, the entire thing is one, right? It's one product. And each of the trilogies is one product. You're only allowed to keep 3 Star Wars things. What do you keep?
So, the series counts as one product?
Yes.
Okay. Original trilogy, prequel trilogy, Clone Wars.
I knew that. I mean, to be fair, that is probably the only right answer. However,
I like how you sounded offended when you said, I knew it.
Yeah, however, I see your answer, and I raise you Ewok's Caravan of Courage.
I'm sorry, what?
Ewok's Caravan of Courage. Star Wars The Holiday Special.
Oh, what the No one wants to keep the holiday special.
And
holiday special is the Batman and Robin of the Star Wars franchise.
And the Droids cartoon series.
Okay, now I know you're just absolutely saying.
No, it's entirely, that's correct. Oh, that Ingo says, I think you can make an argument for Rebels. I think that's fair. To be fair,
yes,
I think, because I see Rebels as being, I mean, it's not as good as Clone Wars, but it is basically, yeah, they tie into each other, don't they?
Being Rebels season 4. That's what I see.
But it's interesting how, in no way, I don't think anyone would have picked Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Ingo says banger series. It is. Rebels is actually, I think Rebels is very underrated. I think
brought Darth Maul back and then they killed him off.
I don't think.
I'm sorry about killing him off, but you know.
See, I don't know if you've seen. There's an interview with Sam Witwer when he talks about that fight, and he actually says how most people don't get it, what actually happened.
Oh no, I get it.
Because he does the different poses and stuff.
Yeah, and Maul basically thinking, oh, I can beat him because he's going to, because he goes from here doing the young Obi-Wan pose, to Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon's pose.
Goes to his new one and then goes to Qui-Gon's pose.
Yeah.
And then that gets into Maul's head thinking, oh,
I can kill him the same way I killed.
Do the same trick, and you see as he goes to do the head hit.
Yeah.
That's when Obi-Wan slashes down.
Yeah. It's,
I get the fight. I'm just sad that one of my
Maul
favorite
died.
characters.
Yeah, that is just gotten.
Why can't I go over this hill? Okay. That's weird.
So...
yeah, no. I'm pretty sure most of us were upset that Maul died.
Yeah, I mean, we all love Maul.
Yeah. It's like... I would have loved to have seen him in like some stuff that they're releasing now, like Mando and stuff like that. But they're all set after he's dead.
Yeah, but there's no reason we couldn't see him in flashbacks, though.
For Ahsoka, that's for Ahsoka.
Yeah, or even in
because
Mandalorian, we could have had flashbacks with him.
From Bo, yeah.
Courtyard turbo
So-
lasers wired to blow.
Because it would have to make sense for the characters having the flashbacks to see him.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? I know what I'm
So it'd be Bo for
Well,
Mando and then
what
Ahsoka.
about, say, for example, if like Grogu had touched the Darksaber and he has flashbacks to what Darth Maul did while he was holding it?
Oh, let's also talk about how they completely destroyed the Darksaber.
I mean, they literally did destroy it. It's gone. It's dead.
It is. That's what I'm on about. They just completely destroyed it. One of the coolest weapons in all of Star Wars, and it's just bye-bye.
I mean, I think it makes sense for the story that the Darksaber goes, because the idea in the Darksaber was what was holding the Mandalorians back in a way.
Yeah, because they were all viewing, oh, we've got to follow the one person who's got this, but then just like,
Yeah.
they were literally fighting over it the whole season.
In a way, they were falling very guilty to the same thing that the Sith did. Because they were always overthrowing each other for it,
Yeah.
it didn't mean the best person was the one that was leading.
There's a bomb in the
So,
And in the end, it was just like, I can't even tell who's leading at the end. Who is leading? Is it still Bo?
huh? Bo-Katan,
At the
yeah.
end,
Yeah. I think
Because
she's
it's
trying to
like-
set it up more like a bit of a sort of semi-democracy. So,
Where there's
Um,
going to be like a council of like the different tribes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So a head for each tribe. So her for the Night Owls, and then obviously Armor for the cultist. And then obviously the other tribes that come along and stuff like that.
Let the stormtroopers have the ruin.
Maybe the House of Renso, Sabine Wren's house could come into it and stuff like that.
yeah. I'm just going to point out, by the way, I think we've won every game.
I wasn't going to mention it because
Yeah.
I didn't want to jinx it, so...
So I'm gonna pull us out there to quit. So just while we're ahead, so just for anyone who's still watching, we're actually gonna wrap up this stream in a second, but we are then going to move on to the Gaming Lords channel, and we're going to do another stream. Very similar. We're still playing the same game, but we're going to be doing Heroes v Villains, and we're going to be focusing on the future of Star Wars. So maybe what shows we'd like to see going forward, what films we'd like to see, and especially what games we'd like to see. So that one should be quite interesting. So if anyone is watching still, I would maybe, Lordy, I don't know if you want to put your a message in the chat so people can add you or follow you if they want to.
Different blooming things.
Bloomin' things. And then we'll be jumping over onto his channel. So there'll probably be about a 5-minute gap whilst I log out and he logs in and sets up the stream and stuff. So just give us a couple of minutes in between. While Lordy's just typing in his name and stuff into the chat, I'm going to say a quick thank you to I've realised you have actually put a comment at the start of the chat anyway, so people can get that there if they want to.
Could you ask me to see if you could hear?
That's right, that's fair.
That's the only way I can do it without interrupting his intro.
So Ingo, I don't know if you don't already follow the Gaming Lords 04, his YouTube link is there in the chat now. If you want to follow him, or if not, even just come over. We're going to carry on chatting, and you're welcome to join us and stuff over there. And we're just going to talk about the future of Star Wars. So that'll probably be in about 5 minutes. That about right, Gaming Lords?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so again, just before we wrap up, I want to say, first of all, Ingo, I do now. Excellent. There you go. So, Gaming Lords, I think you have an extra subscriber there now. Thank you very much, Ingo. Much appreciated. And thanks. So, as I'll say, I wanted to say a thank you to Jose for chatting before, a thank you to Muller Arcade, and especially a thank you to Ingo for joining us, having a lovely little chat with us. I've appreciated it. Always good fun to have someone giving us a bit of interaction. For anyone else who's listening who likes Star Wars content, I have done a Star Wars shung with the Gaming Lords 04. Instagram. I have made a Star Wars what is your Star Wars favorite game video with collaboration with lots of different people, so feel free to go and check that out if you want to see different clips and bits like that. But yeah, so we are about to wrap up. We will be over on the Gaming Lords channel in 5 minutes for another 45 minutes of Star Wars gaming and talking about the future of Star Wars and the future of Star Wars games. Before I go, I also want to say a quick thank you to the Gaming Lords 04. Thank you for joining me. And
You're very welcome.
And also thank you for having me on your channel in about 5 minutes' time. So, yeah. Okay, so do you want to say anything before we wrap up?
Yeah, so I have dropped the link to my channel in chat, so for any of you who want to join, who are still watching and whatnot. I'm going to be talking, as Sip has already said, about the future. We're going to be talking about series that are yet to come out and series that we might want to see. So yeah,
Brilliant. Okay, so again, thank you very much. For anyone who isn't able to come over or is just watching this retrospectively, I hope you've had a nice evening. I hope you've had a lovely May the 4th. I hope the Force has been strong with you. And until next time, take the high ground.